Yo, YouTube, it's Damnation. Still got my Hector or Hurricane Ramirez mask on because I still enjoy it. Today, I'm going to go over grading, what it does to value. Also, I'm going to go over condition as well as grading. So it's going to be grading and condition today. Especially when you're collecting things. That's not to say that's not. So that's stuff like comic books, figures like toys, Magic the Gathering, or other collectible card games like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and all that stuff, and sports cards. So I'm going to go over grading and condition. The only time grading doesn't apply is antiques, because antiques go by condition and and stuff like that. So I'm not going to cover antiques. I'm not an antique expert, so I'm not going to be going down that road. But I am going to talk about grading and condition with toys and cards. And I feel like in my last video that I just released, I go on a rant about it because the Magic world is being scammed, or people buying beta stuff and paying or any Magic card in the beta and alpha and unlimited are getting scammed for way too much money because people don't know that, hey, this is the price that they're at, and and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go over that, and I have some examples of graded stuff. Some not the best cards, but I'm going to use one of my sports cards, and I'm going to use one of my figures. I don't have any graded collectible card game ones, CCGs, like betas and alphas and stuff like that. I don't have any graded those. But this is just going to go by what I know of, like collecting them and stuff like that, and how the price is effective. So we're going to go with that. Okay. So I'm behind the camera, and today we're going to go over grading. So first off, something like Nathan McKinnon. It's graded 8.5 because they always take the lowest number as the average. So because the cornering ain't as bad. Well, it's bad on this. They gave it an 8.5. As you can tell, it's a $9 round. Cornering not so much. So that's why I got an 8.5. But it's a four patch color. Really nice autograph. He's doing very well this year, so this card should be good in value. I think I've seen a card go for like 1,000 something. I'm not 100% sure. But when it comes to condition, so when it comes to condition, you have to look at various things, especially with cards. As you can tell, there's a crease across the top, crease here, damaged bottoms. I use this card quite a bit, but condition is basically everything in the world of collecting. And when you look at Black Lotuses or any card like that, even sports cards, and figures and that's like toys, and antiques, and but I'm not going to get into antiques because I don't know it, but I do know that condition is quite a bit. You're going to get your base price. Alright, so with Black Lotus, your base price is $7,000. Alright, $7,000 for your base Black Lotus beta. Go beta. Don't know how to spell it today. Beta. Black Lotus. Now I use the Black Lotus as, now it says Black Cactus, but no, Black Lotus. The reason why I use Black Lotus is because it's a perfect example of the effects of grading. All right, so you got your base price. This is your top price. All right, so as the condition goes down, you gotta figure it like this. All right, so you got your 7,000 for mint. You got your mid. We'll call this near mint. I can't spell today. So that's near mint is your, and your lowest is at playable or fair condition. That's, you know, your bottom line condition. So as the condition deteriorates, the value goes down. So it goes from 7, you know, near mint, you know, you could have a couple of edging problems, you know, that all falls into here. So let's say you're 6. Let's say that, I mean, this ain't probably a good price for a near mint, because near mint you got several. All right, so let's say your edges are wrong. All right, you take 500 off of that. All right, so it goes from 7K, drops down to a 6,500. All right, so all your prices for stuff like Black Lotus is always going to drop by 500 unless it's severely damaged. All right, so we got 7,500. Let's say the corners are messed up. All right, so it's not the edges, it's the corners. You drop another 6,000, another 5,000. All right, then let's say the back is damaged. All right, like there's a light wear play on it. So this ain't the best, but this is unlimited, by the way. Or yeah, this is unlimited. But so light played, there would be you know, white streaks across the back. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, this is pretty clean. Also, you know, the edges, you know, grease on your fingers, you know, get in the edges, so that brings down the price too. But let's say light played, you know what I mean? It's been in sleeves, it gets pulled in and out, and there's streaks across the back. All right. So it'll drop maybe another 500. We got 5,500. All right. So now let's say there's grease spots. You know, it's not put in a sleeve. You're handling the card. There's grease all along the edges, or oil or whatever from the edges. That's gonna drop it. You know, with the grease things, it's gonna come with more damage on the back and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So you're gonna get more damage on the back. So you're gonna lose another 1,000 off that. All right. The reason why you're losing 1,000 off that is because it was handled, you know, a lot outside of a sleeve. Oh, yeah, so it was handled a lot outside of a sleeve. The back is probably more damaged and a little more faded. The coloring is probably gonna be a little off. So you're gonna lose $1,000 off of that. All right, and as the condition gets worse, your price goes down. Like let's say another $500 for even worse condition. So let's say it's something like my concentrate right here, or consecration, you know, where it's got bends in it, and you know it's been played pretty heavily, and you know, so that's how it works for condition. You know what I mean? You start at 7K, which is mint, straight out of the pack. I mean, this ain't mint. There's some damage on here from, you know, having it around because it's a land. But you know, you go from 7K all the way down to 500. Now, if you go to YouTube, if you go to eBay, or my other video, and I show that all that damage, you lose a lot of value. I mean, yeah, there's a between 1,000 and 1,000, you know, there's an in-between here where you get that, you know, $2,000, $3,000, you know, price tags. You know what I mean? So there is an in-between these two, but, you know, this is where your this right here, this is where the majority of the Black Lotuses I see fall under this condition in this area right here. I mean, this goes for, all right. Some of them are in this condition. Some of them are in this condition. Very little are in this condition, and a lot of them aren't in anywhere near the 7K part. Oh, there's 2 of them in there. Okay, so that's condition. All right. So I mean, so you got beta, Black Lotus at 7,000. That's the top price for a mint condition out of the box. Alpha. This is how they are properly priced. Lotus. Yeah, at 6,000. Now, it's always been like that, where Alpha has always been cheaper than the beta Black Lotus. I have no idea why. It's 1,000 cheaper. It's barely a price change, but it's 1,000 price change. And you got unlimited. Now, if you noticed in unlimited, there was tons of them on eBay. Tons of unlimited Black Lotuses. All right. The reason, all right, so there's tons of them. So, I mean, you're looking at a $3,000 card. Mint. All right. That's mint condition in today's market. Mint condition. And, you know, you got a lot of people being ripped off because condition is everything. All right. Now we're going to talk about grading and what grading does to these prices. I have something here. Bear with me. I got to hold the thing. So this is a figure. This is Talking Golden Better from the 2014 San Diego Comic-Con. He got a, I don't know if you can see that, a 9.5. So, Golden Bender at a 9.5. Alright, so here's our top scale, 5 to 10. Here's the bottom scale, 1 to 4.5. You're wondering why I separated them. Well, the reason why I separated them is because this value is not the same as these values up here. Alright, so on eBay, you can buy one for about 150, let's say 150 bucks. Alright, 150 bucks. That's not bad. So we're going to go start from the low and we're going to work way up. Alright, so 150, it's good. So between 150 and 2, you got 199. Alright, so 2 to 3, you got 200 to 299. 3 to 4, 300 to 399. And 4, yeah, 500 to, or yeah, 400 to 499. Now, the scale is kind of weird up here, okay? So you got 500,000. So this is how it would be if we continued this. 5,000 to 600. That's 500 to 6, or 599. 599, or 600 to 699. 700 to 899, and so forth. The thing is once the value gets from here, it changes dramatically once it gets to here to here. You know what I'm saying? So we got 5,000. It's worth 5,000. All Alright, from here to here. 4 to 4999. Nope, too many nines. Got 4,999. Alright. Here to here. You got your 3,000 to 3,999. And you got your, of course, you go down. 2,299. Here to here. 3,000 to 1,999. Then from here to here, you know, you got your 500 to your 599. Yeah, 599,009. Alright, so it's 5. So that's how it goes. So after, so you got 500 to 599,000, all the way up to 5,000. That's just with the golden bender. That is how the grading scale works. So you always start at your base cost of card all the way up to your top card. Now, with something like the Beta Black Lotus, that is not how it works. It goes completely different, because you gotta go from 100,000, which is at 10, down to your $7,000 mark. Now, a 1 for something like Beta Black Lotus graded is not gonna be $7,000. All right, a 1 means your card was severely damaged and there's a lot of issues. All right, so that's how grading works with figures and cards. All right, figures and cards. Although I didn't really explain how cards work. Well, with the Beta Black Lotus, you can just go from 10 down to whatever. So the most you want on a card is a 5 or more. A 5 or more will get you a little bit of hold value, but it'll also give you a lot of extra value in the long run. All right. So there's two companies, Beckett and PSA are the two main card companies. If you're going to get something like Magic the Gathering or any other cards, or older cards, or older sports cards, go with a PSA. A PSA has a better system for older cards than Beckett does. Beckett is more modern cards. All right. So if you want to go, get your Nathan McKinnon, however you pronounce his name, graded, you go with Beckett. If you want like a Gretzky or, some of those older cards, you go with a PSA, or, your collectible CCGs or your collectible card games. You go with you go with your PSA. I got a sports card. This is a modern sports card. I don't have my older sports cards out. Okay. So, modern sports card, older sports card, and collectible card game. Collectible cards. Of course, both of them grade them on a scale of 10. There's also a grading company for coins, and of course figures. Figures is the ANA. I'll leave links to down below or I won't leave any links. Okay, so there's also so those are the two main grading companies. All right, so they judge them by condition and centering. So I don't know if you can tell. All right, so how that works is they grade it by the edges. They grade it by the back. There's a little damage on here, so that'll bring it down to an 8 or 9 or a 9. That'll probably bring it down to a 9 if I was to get this graded. Then they go by centering. So as you can tell, it's slightly to the right. top and bottom are good. It is slightly to the right. I don't know if you can see that. Actually, do the back. That looks pretty square, except for maybe down here, so it's a little up. Maybe it kind of looks like that. That is how they grade it. And the corners, all right? Corners look good. So they would probably give this a 9.5. Because, all right, so that's how they grade it. What I was talking about in my other video is something called altered. I probably spelled altered wrong, but whatever. Altered. Altered means that they took a card like this. They trimmed the edges to make it all squared and nice. They used ink or whatever to make it hide the blemishes and stuff like that, enhance the color or whatever. That means they altered it. You know, they trimmed it up, made it look nice and pretty. What that does, if you've ever done that, or don't ever do this, is you basically damage the card and it's worthless. The card goes from a $7,000, maybe a $7,000 card somewhere. If it was in here, if it was mint condition, kind of like almost like this. If I was to do that, let's say this was the Alpha Black Lotus. All right, we're at 7,000, and it was slightly to the bottom. So there's a bunch of top up here. So they trimmed off the bottom to make it all. They trimmed off the edges and the side because it was more right. So if it was more right, you got to take some from the top and some from the left, maybe the bottom. Who knows? You basically damaged the card. Your card goes from 7,000 to nothing, to 0, right off the bat. Any graded card that is said altered on it is $0. You don't is a 0 in the grading and price wise, because you destroyed a card, a perfectly good card that you could have gotten maybe 10. Let's say it got like an 8, or no, I won't get an 8 if it was crooked. You'd probably get like a 7 or 6. You're still making out like 10 grand, 9 or like 10, 11 grand on a 7. So why would you cut up a card, destroy a card to fake the grading companies? Because they know they have the specs. All right, they have the specs. There is a 10. There's been 10s out there, so they have what a perfect 10 should look like. And if you alter it, you're zero price. You basically made a worthless card. So, you know, when you're pricing out your cards, that's another thing too. All right, it doesn't matter whether it's a hockey card. You know, you might go to eBay and check on his price. Maybe it's a $500 card, but you got to take in the fact that it's 8.5. That's if you sent it out to get graded and you're like, oh, okay, well, now it's like a $1,500 card or a $2,000 card. You know what I mean? So it adds value to it. It doubles or triples your price, or triples your money in some cases. You know, like with the Golden Bender, it was $150, now it's a $5,000 figure. That's how it goes. You know, that goes for anything, you know, but when you get it graded, that's what happens. So when you're trying to price out your cards, you know, you want to take a look at, okay, well, let's look at the back. Oh, there's some edge damage. Okay, so it's not going to be a $7,000 card, or, you know, like a $500 card. You know, you got to price it out fairly, right? So there's some damage there, and, you know, there's some damage on the edges, and, you know, like, oh, okay, well, a reasonable price, you know, 6,000, maybe 5,800 or something like that. You know, a fair, reasonable price on a card. That's how you grade your card. That's how you grade anything. Oh, you know, the condition is not too bad. You know, you look at the condition. You judge the condition by the severity of the condition. So if the condition is severe, it brings down the value a lot. Like some of the other cards that if you look at my other video, is severely damaged. You know, there was like, they had a card that looked like, basically like this, where it had damage on a corner, like the bottom corner, remember? They had damage on the bottom corner. There's all these scratches. It was heavily played. and they wanted like what, $8,000 for it. No, sorry, that's like a $500 card. When your card looks and beat up to beat to hell, your value drops down to a lot, basically in the $100 range, hundreds of dollars range. You might get maybe $500 for it, you know, and that's a fair value for something that's basically destroyed almost. But yeah, you know, that's how you grade them. You just gotta look at the condition and be like, what's a fair price for something that's damaged? You know, I mean, some people might say, oh well, you know, I'll ask for $7,000. You might get that, but then you're gonna say it was like, oh yeah, you know, there's some damage on there. You know, you got when you post pictures of, well, maybe not something like this, but you know, like Magic cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or other cards, Pokemon, even figures. If you don't post all the damage, you're basically scamming the buyer. You know what I mean? So like if you look how some of the Magic players that are the Magic ones I were selling, they had the front and the back. They showed the damage on it. That's if you're selling. If you know, if you go looking at an antique store or you know you're bartering with somebody, you look at the condition of it, right? Always look at the condition. Oh well, there's some dings and scratches here. Will you take, you know, X amount of dollars? It's the same thing with Magic. I mean, you know, it's like, oh well, I'll take $6,000 for it. You know, it's kind of messed up. Maybe I'll take $6,500. I mean it's land, but still, you know, you look at the condition. So, I mean, that's how it is. And, you know, this is a good video for people who are just collecting out there, who are buying on eBay or looking into, you know, buying, you know, if you're buying toys and collectibles and all this stuff, you know, you want to look at what can I get for this? You know what I mean? If your condition is bad, you're going to get a lower price. If your condition is high, extremely high, you're going to get a higher price. You're going to get the top dollar for it. You know, and you know, great. That's the same thing with gold with the grading companies. You know, you back it or whatever. You know, you get value for your card. It doubles or triples or however, depending on type. Never alter your cards. But again, that goes for. These are the actual prices of these cards. Actual prices for mint condition, out of the pack, into plastic sleeve, graded, and yeah. So as you can tell, the price drops severely as condition goes down. As the condition goes down, you get something with $500 or basically worthless. And that's my video on grading and how grading works and condition. Thanks for watching.